Weapon was a microphone. Guess what? When he was arrested the first time, what they found on him was a microphone, not a gun. They found with Mandela a pistol. Well, with Nnamdi Kanu, they found a microphone. In fact, when they were asked to present evidence, even in the ongoing case, the evidence presented is that microphone, his underwear, top and bottom, and some of his writings. No.
When the government arrested Nnamdi Kanu, the only thing they found on him was a microphone, a simple microphone. But when Nelson Mandela was arrested, he was arrested with a gun. That was the point Omoyele Sowore made, and it has been shaking people everywhere. It's a line that got people talking, sharing, and thinking deeply about what is really happening in this country. Please, before we go deeper, if you're watching right now, kindly like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future updates. Now let's break this down together. Sowore was trying to make a point about how different societies react to voices that demand change. He said, look at Kanu. He didn't come with weapons. He didn't lead an army. He only spoke with passion. The tool he used was his microphone. That microphone represents his voice. Added his ideas and his call for justice. But even with that, he was arrested, detained, and still facing trial till now. Sowore is saying, why is a man with just a voice treated like someone with a weapon? When you look at the Mandela comparison, it brings something powerful. Nelson Mandela, during his struggle in South Africa, reached a point where his movement adopted armed resistance. Yet history remembers him as a freedom fighter, a man of peace, a symbol of unity. Sowore is asking, if the world could understand Mandela's struggle and see him beyond the gun, why can't Nigeria look at Nnamdi Kanu and understand that his microphone is not a threat, but a message? Please like this video right now if you believe that voices should not be silenced, and subscribe if you want to stay updated with stories that truly matter. Now, this statement by Sowore didn't just come from nowhere. He said it while speaking to supporters who were calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. There was a protest, peaceful and organized, where many Nigerians came out holding placards saying, "Free Nnamdi Kanu now." Sowore joined them, and during that protest, he reminded everyone that this is not about tribe, it's not about religion, it's about justice. He said that if we stay silent, when one man's rights are taken away tomorrow, anybody's rights can also be taken away. That is the kind of message that makes people stop and think. But the protest didn't go smoothly. There were reports that security agents came and tried to disperse the protesters. Some people said tear gas was fired. Others said warning shots were heard. Sowore.
The perception that some people believe that because Kanu has committed some crimes, why should anybody fight for him? I'm going to answer it this way. You know Nelson Mandela? Yes. He was regarded as a terrorist because he was fighting for the liberation of blacks in South Africa. In fact, Nelson Mandela's name was not removed as a terrorist until he became president of South Africa. That was when the US lifted the terrorism tag, granted him a visa, and he traveled across the world. And one of the things he said when he was visiting the US, same question was asked of him. Why is it that as a person who's freedom loving, you are supporting Cuba? Which the person said, that's a human rights violating regime, referring to Fidel Castro. He said to them, sometimes the problem with you people is that you want to choose our friends for us and you want to choose your enemies for us. That is basically what's happening in your MBA group. Some people are trying to choose your enemies for you. But the question you should ask yourself is, what is Nnamdi Kanu fighting for? Self-determination. It came out several years ago that the Igbos are tired of being treated like slaves in the country. And he wants the former Biafra region to break away as a nation state. The constitution is very clear. You can agitate for self-determination. But we don't have the position of referendum in our constitution. He started peacefully. He was going from village to village. In fact, he didn't go from village to village. He was on a radio. His only
reacted strongly to that, saying the protesters were peaceful, that they were only asking for fairness and justice, nothing violent. Again, this brings us back to the same question. Why do peaceful voices keep facing force? Why do those holding microphones get treated like those holding weapons? Please, my people, if you are still watching, do me one favor. Hit that like button now. It helps the video reach more people and keeps this kind of conversation alive. And make sure you subscribe too, because we need more people paying attention to what's going on around us. Now let's look at what Sowore's statement really means beyond the surface. It's not just about Kanu and Mandela. It's about what kind of country we want to build, a country where people can talk freely, where ideas are not seen as threats. A country where government can listen to citizens without fear. A microphone is a symbol of speech, communication, and openness. A gun, on the other hand, is a symbol of war, destruction, and force. So, when Sowore said they arrested Kanu with a microphone, he was reminding the government that ideas are not bullets. Words are not weapons. You can't kill an idea with handcuffs. You can't silence millions of people who just want fairness by keeping one man behind bars. Many Nigerians reacted differently to his statement. Some agreed and said Sowore was absolutely right, that government is afraid of voices that question the system. Others said Kanu's case is complicated, that it's not only about speech, but also about how his movement was perceived. And that is the beauty of dialogue. Everyone has a view. But one thing most people agree on is that Nigeria needs more listening and less confrontation. If you're watching this part right now, please like the video again if you haven't, and subscribe to the channel so that you can always get the latest stories like this one. I appreciate everyone watching till this point. Now, when Sowore made that comparison with Mandela, he also reminded people that the same world that once called Mandela a terrorist later gave him the Nobel Peace Prize. That's deep. It means perception can change with time. Today's accused man can become tomorrow's hero if his intentions were right. Mandela spent 27 years in prison, but when he came out, he didn't seek revenge. He built bridges, not walls. Sowore's point is, what if we try understanding Kanu's message instead of only punishing him for it? This message hit many Nigerians emotionally because it touches on something bigger, freedom of speech. In a democracy, citizens should not be afraid to talk, but sometimes when people speak out, they get arrested or labeled enemies. That fear kills innovation, kills ideas, and weakens the nation. When a man with a microphone becomes a target, it means the government fears what he might say more than what he might do. And that's why Sowore's words spread so fast online. It wasn't only about the person of Kanu, it was about the power of speech and how governments handle dissent. For many young people watching this right now, this is your reminder that your voice matters. Don't keep quiet when something is wrong. Speak peacefully, speak boldly, and use your platform wisely. Please take 1 second right now, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this platform together so more people can hear balanced, thoughtful news. As we continue, we should also think about the reaction of ordinary Nigerians. Some people are saying, look, Kanu's case has dragged for too long. It's been years of court sittings, adjournments, and confusion. People just want closure. They want peace in the southeast. They want the economy to move. They want young people to stop being afraid. Many community leaders have begged the government to show compassion, to consider a political solution, not just legal punishment. And that is part of the ongoing conversation. Now pause and think about this. Why do activists like Sowore risk so much to speak up? They know the consequences, they've been arrested before, yet they keep talking. It shows a deep desire to see Nigeria work. Whether you agree with them or not, you can't deny that the courage keeps democracy alive. If no one speaks, the powerful do whatever they want. But when people speak, at least the truth stays visible. Please, before we go further, I want you to support this channel by liking this video right now and subscribing. It really helps us grow and it encourages us to keep bringing you real stories and analysis like this. Now let's go a little deeper emotionally. Imagine that microphone Sowore mentioned. It's not just a tool for sound. It represents every journalist, every student, every citizen who wants to say something meaningful. When that microphone is seen as a crime, it means free expression is in danger. Sowore's words remind us that we must protect the right to speak, because when speech dies, society becomes silent, and silence breeds fear. You can feel how people are tired of hearing about arrests, trials, and conflicts. They want solutions. They want peace. And peace doesn't mean silence. Peace means justice. A nation that silences its own citizens cannot truly be at peace. That's what Sowore is trying to say indirectly. If you're still with me up to this point, you are the real one. Please like this video and subscribe now so you can get every update we post.
The element of terrorism was established in courts. Nobody has testified that they saw him buying guns or ordering guns or ordering. They brought to court different kinds of audio messages, which was his response to when police was killing his people. When I was at Sahara Reporters, I had in my possession a video which I published at that time. I don't know if Facebook has taken. As the Nigerian army went to where IPOB people were peacefully gathering and shot them dead live. 2014, I think. They killed them right there. This was captured on tape. It was provided by Amnesty International to me. So who committed the crimes? Is it the person who started peacefully or the government who said so? But like I started this with, this was the goal, But the simplest question a lawyer asks when you go to court is evidence, right? If somebody is brought before a court on terrorism charges, and we have not been able to prove it in 4 years, there's something wrong with that process. Meanwhile, Simon Ekpa was arrested maybe last year. He has been convicted within 6 months in Finland. He may not have been as guilty as it, but he has the process of appeal. The trial was speedy, open, and in my own view, fair. What happens to Nnamdi Kanu? You just keep defending, detaining him. Even when the Court of Appeal said that he's discharged and acquitted and wrote that he should be released forthwith, you refuse to honor that court order. And you are going into MBA groups to say, why is anybody fighting? You are taking extra legal steps to violate the right of a campaigner for self-determination. We are taking extra legal steps to force your hand to respect his rights. That is the reason for my protest. And who is in a better position to know a sham trial if it's not Sowore? I've been subjected to as many as 10 of those foolish trials. I have about 3 now pending. And they are going to end up in nothing. That's why since 1992, I don't write statements in police station.